Today is May 29th, and thought I'd give an update, getting ready to try to put some beans and cucumbers in here, hopefully, and try to record planting of it. And there's Jake. You need help? Alright, I'm gonna go unlock this for him. Okay. Now Jake's trying to fill this raised bed in that we've been trying to work on. Got some of that wood from the corner of the yard over there where the power company cut down all of our trees a couple years ago, which is why we have absolutely no wind block out here. Gabby got around the strawberries again because they were pretty overrun with weeds. We got to get into this area again. Well, at all, because we haven't actually done this part yet, but we have to get in here and weed this out somehow. But this isn't as bad as the other side where the herbs are in the corner over there. I did trim that poor crab apple. Looks pretty sad, but he does look like he's surviving on the bottom, perhaps. Over by that orange handle, that's where little Mayonnaise is buried. So, yeah, here comes the wind. But anyways, so this is the plan to do some more work on this. I don't know if I explained, we put some fabric down. There's this weed block fabric in between these two rows. We get a lot of weed pressure, so I'm trying that this way this year. Last year we didn't have anything down besides some straw, because it's also, our soil is it's not bad, it's very sandy. So it's really, it drains really nice, but the water does tend to go through it pretty quick, because I'm watering already, and it rained for like 4 days straight, and everything was, we have peppers that are starting to droop because they're just getting too dry. I'm going to work on putting the beans and cucumbers in. They're working on digging up some soil to put over there, and I have a pile of rotted straw from last year over there that we're going to try to top dress that with. To finally get the dang brassicas in the ground. Maybe too late, don't know. The tall grass jungle that is my little herb garden area. Again, it's the first year having herbs, and it was all cleaned out last year. And now it's like almost 3 feet tall. I don't know if I even have any herbs left in there. But didn't plan very well. We'll work on it. Look at that. Little praying mantis cocoon. Got several around here. Pretty happy about. Got one over in that corner too. I mean, I can't say I'm happy in terms of me liking them because they're disgusting still to me, but they're very helpful. So I'm happy that way. They creep me out like bad, but anyway, yeah, not a beautiful house, but it's mine and I love it. Same thing with my yard. It's definitely a little rough around the edges and needs some work, but hopefully we'll get it under control eventually. Okay, so I'm getting ready to get the spot, getting ready to get the spot ready for cucumbers. I'm trying to pull out some of these weeds. Ugh. I really wish that, if I could start over, I would not have put the garden directly up against this fence, because it's very difficult. I mean, the weed whacker that we have, I need to get something, I don't know what, maybe I just got to do it by hand every time, but the weed whacker that we have tends to get stuck in the wire of the fence, so it's really hard to weed whack. But yeah, I recommend that if you have an outside fence, unless you got something underneath it, which is another thing that I wish I could have done, is put some sort of a weed barrier or something directly under it, then I recommend you putting it at least a lawnmower's width away from your outside fence. Because in here, we've got the weed barrier. You can't tell because it's got dirt on it right now, but we got the weed barrier that goes up underneath the fencing here on the inside. But when we put this in, it was to protect our little dogs so that they didn't run out and into the neighbor's house or neighbor's yard. We don't want them running out all crazy. And yeah, I think I do the same spacing as I did for tomatoes, so about 18 inches maybe. I might go a little further apart for cucumbers, but I do plan on having them just mostly grow up here, so I think it'll be okay. So, oh, I must have uncovered worm. Sorry, little worm. Let me put you somewhere where I'm not going to be digging. Let me see, where is he? Did he go in that little glob of dirt, I guess? So I don't see him. Okay. Anyway, so, dang weeds. It's this stuff. I don't know what it is, but it just grows like a freaking forest by itself. It's so thick, the roots. Anyway, so I'm just gonna start digging some holes here, and I'm not gonna dig a super deep hole because I don't have cucumber plants. I have seeds, and so I'm basically just going to dig a hole and then add a little manure in there, rebury it, and then just push the seeds in the ground. So I'll be back when I'm done digging. Okay, so I got the holes dug. I gotta go grab the granular fertilizer and the composted manure. And I don't think I'm gonna put manure in for the beans. I don't know. But we're just gonna throw some fertilizer down. And yeah, I know the beans are gonna grow up with the tomatoes. I'm just gonna try to keep these tomatoes pruned up really well. I mean, these tomatoes are also gonna be sharing fencing, so I'll have to just make sure that I get plenty of airflow all around and underneath them. So I think it'll be fine. Also, let's look at, yeah, see these little tiny tomato guys? That one needs to be pruned. I see it's got some leaves on the ground, but they're doing fine. So yeah, it's not very professional type of garden. It looks a little rough around the edges, but I think it's still gonna give us some yummy vegetables, and you know, that's really what it's for anyways. I think the camera stopped for some reason. Okay, so yes, this isn't organic at all. Well, it says it's got some natural stuff in it, and it's supposed to not burn. But with the fertilizer shortage and the price of it right now, this is what I can do this year. So next year, you know, may go back to organic, or I don't know, we'll see. I did organic last year, it did fine. This is just a 10-10-10, so it's not like one of the, you know, like the Miracle Grow, which is like 24-24-24 or something like that. But anyways, it's slow release, so that's what I'm going to put it into each of these holes for now. Okay, so I just put some fertilizer in. Dang it, this dumb hose. Eventually I'd like to get the drip line irrigation, but for now, again, this will do. Just trying to worry more about trying to grow our own food, become a little more self-sufficient, and we'll work out the details as we go. You can sneak over there, you too. I don't know what on earth that is. Anyways, probably a wild carrot. I gotta change this water out too, get it on the next thing, because it's really we're getting some little puddles and lakes in here. Try not to bury it too much so that I can find where the holes are supposed to be. Okay, so I have my cucumber seeds. I'm just doing Boston Pickling cucumber from Sustainable Seed Company. These are the ones I actually bought last year. And then I have some pole beans. They were also from the same company, but I had a mixture of bush and pole beans in there. They were supposed to be pole beans. Or no, they were supposed to be bush beans. Blue Lake bush beans. And about half of them were pole beans. So I saved the pole beans specifically, of course, from the pods that came from the pole beans. So we'll see, because I don't know about cross-pollination, all that kind of stuff. But so we're going to plant those out here. And then I just have some nasturtiums. Alright, so I guess I'm just going to drop these in. I dropped one in right there. I guess I'm just going to, because you don't have to cover, I don't think they get covered real deep, like ½ inch or so. I should know all this stuff before doing this. This spot's a little more wet than I'd like it to be, but I kind of figured it might be better anyways if I had, if I left the hose running temporarily. Let's see, this is me tough to do. This is me tough to do one-handed, sort of, but just put that guy, he went, put him in the ground. But I kind of want them to get a good soak in anyways. If I wasn't at first, oh, hang on, my son is calling. Yeah.
Okay, so then do you want me to like cross it in the microwave or?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
You're sure that's okay?
I think so, yeah. I think it'll be acceptable. I'm gonna go out on a limb and call it.
You want me to cook it after or no?
Yeah, if you want to, you can. As soon as I'm done here, I'll be in. I'm making lasagna tonight, and he's hungry. And unfortunately, lasagna is not the fastest meal, so he's trying to help kind of speed some things along. Alright, I'm going to put these in the ground. Oops. And then I'll be back because this is really not easy to do one-handed at all. Okay, I just had to take my gloves off because it's just too hard dealing with these little tiny seeds. Anyways, in case you didn't notice, I did just put one seed per hole, but because cucumbers germinate and grow pretty quickly, I can just come back through and reseed. If I was doing something like carrots that take like 20 days to germinate and then like 100 days or something like that to grow, then I would be putting multiples per hole. But with these, I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to do the same with the pole beans. Basically, it'll be the same thing, so you probably don't need to watch all that. Okay, got those all in the ground. Only had about 8 nasturtium seeds, which is okay. They'll end up mostly over here, kind of speckled about, which is fine because I imagine most of the pest pressure is going to come from the yard anyways, where the weeds are. And then I'll switch the water out now that I feel pretty confident that they're well watered in. And I just hope that no moles or voles, we have trouble with both of those, come and eat the little seeds. Hopefully their little noses don't act like radars and come and find it. So I'm gonna be planting carrots and celery, and this is where the potatoes are going to be, but I still got to cut them. We have a ton of seed potatoes, but they need to be cut and dried before they can be planted out here, you know, so they don't rot. And the back of that, I'm not sure how to do this yet because I don't know if I'm going to have enough sweet potato slips. The plan was to put the sweet potato slips between the tomatoes and potatoes. Since they're in the same family, I wanted a crop between, but I've had 2 of the 4 sweet potatoes rot in the soil tray. They were doing great, had roots, and all of a sudden rotted. I don't really know what happened. I guess I probably overwatered it because I really love to overlove my plants. Like that poor crab apple, I think I overwatered it. But anyways, we'll see how many we get. I don't know if I can cut one slip up into several slips and root it. I'm trying one stem by itself. We'll see. But hopefully tomorrow we'll get some more done.